So the first recommendation regarding using screening tools for English learners from the publication is to use tools with demonstrated reliability and validity to identify and monitor students' need for instructional support in reading in both the home language and in English. So tools that have been shown to be reliable and valid should always be used over other tools. But we need to also be careful to attend to whether they have been studied with English learners specifically, which I know someone had brought up, whether particular assessments had been normed with English learners. So we should also think about the ways in which a particular student's background, for example, like their home language, prior school experiences, English language experience, might also be impacting how they're performing on a particular assessment or a specific type of task within an assessment. So the second recommendation for using screening tools with English learners is to assess students' language skills in the home language and English to provide an appropriate context regarding evaluation of current levels of performance. So there are some valid and reliable measures in Spanish. For example, the Indicadores Dinámicos del Éxito en la Lectura, which is IDEL. It's sort of the Spanish version of DIBELS. You can also use parents as additional sources of information regarding students' abilities in the home language. So you might want to ask questions regarding their school or home experiences with using oral language as well as reading and writing. So in conversations with parents, we want to ask questions that elicit observable behavior. So instead of asking, is your child a good reader of Arabic, you might want to ask, how often does your child read books in Arabic? Does he ever read aloud to you? How do you know he understands what he's reading? Things like that. So these are observable behaviors. So the third recommendation for using screening tools with English learners is to evaluate the potential effect of the process of home language and English acquisition on current performance. So we already know that a student's English language proficiency doesn't impact their performance on English medium assessments such as the DIBELS. These assessments use English to assess skills. And so we have to take care to acknowledge the ways in which they're evaluating skills within a very, very specific English medium context. So what we can do to mitigate risks of inappropriate interpretation of assessments is examine and analyze how English language skills, as well as cultural background knowledge, might be required in order for students to respond accurately to assessment items. So the fourth recommendation regarding using screening tools with English learners is to plan instruction based on what is known about the student's current level of performance and his or her literacy experiences in the home language and in English. So we know that using a variety of data can help us create a more comprehensive and more accurate picture of what's going on with our particular students. So we think about involving parents as partners in order to sort of round out our understanding of students across languages as well as contexts. And we really want to include parents and educators with different areas of expertise in collaborative, team-based approaches that really promote appropriate identification and instructional steps.